If you're wondering who that is on the big screen, that is Kyle. We're recording, by the way.
What? Like audio or video?
Both.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you didn't know? You didn't know we're on YouTube?
No, I did not.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and iTunes now. And on SoundCloud.
Oh, fantastic.
That is fucking awesome, right?
Don't mind me.
No, I'm not minding you. You just do your own thing, man. But hopefully Will comes by today also. I mean, it's still nice to just have the two of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what would you like to discuss first? Because there's a lot.
There is plenty to talk about with the NBA. I mean, fucking nuts. I wrote down topics last night while I was fishing to go and discuss. First was a Q&A, but no one has fucking asked me shit.
Well, here's one that you probably don't have on there that I would like to talk about.
What?
Alex Morgan sipping tea. How's that offensive?
It's
I'm
not.
more offended by the
It's
girl
not.
who took a knee.
It's not offensive.
I mean,
If you're taking a knee, I completely get it. You have every right to be offended by that. But, Rapinoe? Rapinoe took a knee?
yeah, I think so.
Fuck.
Which, come on, enough already.
Which I get it.
Do you? You're on a U.S. national team. You're representing the country. You don't get to do that.
No, you don't get to. You don't get to do that. But I understand this whole like, oh, I want to be this. Oh, I want to like express my rights, express my beliefs. I completely fucking get that. You do you. But
No.
the fact that people are offended.
No, when you join the national team, that's the
highest
representing
honor.
the United States of America. You're not representing, a franchise.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
representing a country.
All right. Well, in that particular case, then yeah, that's
that's
understandable.
That's like the Kaepernick thing. He's a 49er. That's on the 49ers. Like, this is the United States, and this is our flag and our anthem and our country on a national stage.
Yeah.
I mean, I get you want freedom of speech and all that, but not in that particular situation. It's not the time or place.
No, it's not. This would be a whole different discussion if this wasn't the World Cup. If this was like Major League Soccer.
I would love to get into this conversation, mainly just because I've been a big proprietor of the fact of knowing Colin Kaepernick's background since he was in. I was looking at drafting him when I was, back in the day when he was coming out to draft, and reading up on him and his profile and everything. I mean,
he was a good player out of college.
It kind of came out of nowhere, and it's kind of a reach. I mean, he was adopted by a white family. He was given a great life, but what I've seen the most is that he don't show up to nothing. He don't show up to rallies. He doesn't show his face. He's like the man behind the curtain. And just the fact that, like, people talk about him like he's a hero. Warwick Dunn has been building houses around the NFL, like, for families forever, and he gets no recognition from anybody. He's like the greatest guy ever.
Yeah.
Ugh,
and you got guys like
focus on the negatives. That's
and you got fucking Chris Long, who's out in Africa, like building wells, water wells and shit, and the entire continent of Africa.
Oh yeah, some people doing some great stuff out there.
Yeah, people
choose to idolize a guy who protest Nike, a company that employs him, just to be over a Betsy Ross shoe. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Okay.
Talk about being a pussy.
Yeah, this is the world we live in now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate time. I can't even say it is what it is anymore because this shit has got to stop. It's got to fucking stop.
I wish it would at some point. I can't even enjoy sports anymore without, it was bad enough with the NFL boom. And by the NFL boom, I mean football becoming so immensely popular.
Yeah.
Football in the 90s and late 80s and 90s, when I was growing up idolizing the players playing, they weren't popular like they are now. They weren't, you know, Dan Marino would be on commercials and in movies, and John Elway.
You had Montana still.
Jim Kelly was in a movie or two, but never like, these guys weren't like how they are now, hanging out with music people, and it's drawn in fan bases and people to football who just don't care about the game.
Yeah. They care more about the players than the actual game.
They care about the Tom Brady's of the world. The I don't know. It's hard to describe. They care more about...
Culture?
No. Just like their personal feelings towards a player or a team or a situation than they do about the actual franchise. In a sense speaking, like, being a fan from as young as I have in your life devoted to a fanhood of a team.
Yeah.
And then you see 20-year-old girls with Jet hats, like, I'm the biggest Jet fan in the fucking world, and then they try and talk about players, and this player is so good, and they're talking about a dude who's, you know, a middle-of-the-pack guy.
And they talk about the kicker, how he's the greatest kicker of all time.
And it's always
Jesus
the referee's
Christ.
fault. And it's always, you know, when a team loses, it's the referee's fault, and the NFL's trying to screw them. And this wasn't, when I was younger, and, like, even growing up through football, it was never like this.
No.
You had your group of diehard fans, and then, you know, the casual fan who just watched football, who just watched all the teams and didn't really have an opinion on everything. And now it's like everybody's an analyst. Everybody has their philosophy of how the game should be played, and everybody else is wrong. And it's just it's a weird place we're in with football. It's almost gotten too popular.
And sports in general.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say it about hockey, really.
Or even baseball. I feel baseball has, because it's 162 games and the dedication it takes to being a true baseball fan, they've kept their culture.
Yeah.
There's
hockey
still a
and baseball
culture, you know?
Hockey and baseball have done a good job at that.
Here's an example of it. In baseball, a guy comes up and hits 3 home runs and does a bat flip. The next time out, your pitcher's fucking beating him. He's hitting him.
Yeah.
You know? And that's a baseball culture thing. It's not a nice thing to do. But that's the game.
Yeah.
And
that's
it
great
hasn't
about
changed over 100 years. If a quarterback was running around dancing, jabbing his mouth, the next time a defensive end came around, he threw an elbow up in your face. And now if that happens, it's a suspension, a $100,000 fine, and concussions. And this guy is a monster, and he shouldn't be playing.
And that,
you see that sense?
Yeah,
of,
now as you say that, I miss guys like Lyle Alzado when he played. How he would just fight people.
Yeah, not just fight people. It's just they've taken away. A quarterback can't even be touched now.
No,
they've taken away the essence of the game, the toughness, the grit. I mean, teams hating each other too. You know, that's kind of gone now with the whole free agency and everybody moving around a lot. But
yeah.
I mean, the Steelers, Ravens, and the Steelers and
the Raiders and Chiefs.
And yeah, I mean, those rivalries back in the day, these guys hated each other.
Yeah, Niners, Cowboys. Niners, Cowboys too.
Mm-hmm. Giants, Cowboys.
Jets, Patriots too.
Well, that's more modern.
Oh yeah.
The Jets really weren't anything back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, the late 90s, you can say so. With Testaverde.
Yeah, I guess.
Bills, Dolphins.
Bills, Dolphins, definitely. They hated each other. Brian Cox walked into the stadium flipping all the fans off.
That's great. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, he's hated at Buffalo. He's one of our most hated athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, even look at it now. We still carry that type of thing. We throw dildos on the field at Tom Brady.
That's fucking funny every time.
We just hate him. We hate him, and we don't. It's not even like we hate the person. We hate the player.
Yeah.
It's not like Tom Brady can't walk around Buffalo without being attacked or anything like that. It's just you get booed. People don't like. We hate him there. He's killed us for so long.
Yeah.
There's a hatred.
Yep.
Knicks, Pacers.
Oh.
Even in basketball. Look at the rivalry that Steph had with the Cavs and all that. There's no,
there's no
Reggie
hatred.
Miller type of hatred.
No, there's no hatred with the Warriors Cavs. I mean, you could say that with like I can't even say it with the NBA anymore. Like the NBA back 10, 15 years ago.
But it's not even acceptable to hate another team nowadays. You have people on these talk shows and on ESPN saying how awful the fans are for cursing a player out, and it's classless, and this and that, and a heckler, and they shame hecklers. Like, no, that's the fans' job, is to get in the athlete's head.
Oh,
try
Toronto
and help their team.
Toronto hockey fans were the worst when they killed us Islander fans for booing John Tavares when he came home to the Coliseum for the first time.
And they had every right to boo him.
They had every fucking right. Look, if
he's gonna let the guy walk in and score 3 goals and cheer him as he does it, what's the point of being a fan?
Exactly. So people might not know exactly. I want to tell this story about John Tavares and all that. So Tavares, essentially, what he did pulled the Kevin Durant of the NHL. I mean, you can't really say that because Kevin Durant's a fucking pussy, and we can say that. It was a pussy move.
You can't really say that because Durant didn't go to Washington D.C. and play with the, I want to call them the Bullets, but the
Wizards?
Yeah, they're the Wizards, but I want to call them the Bullets because I just hate calling them anything but the Bullets. But anyway, if Durant would have went and played with the Bullets, he would have essentially done what Tavares did. Tavares went to a team that wasn't built up. They weren't great, but that's his hometown team. He dreamed of playing them with a kid. I get that.
Yeah,
I get it.
That's
but
what I
can't blame an Islander fan for hating you for not saying it in the first place.
Yeah, that's what bothers me the most about all this. In the end, I still have my John Tavares poster for 2 reasons. One,
he acted like that decision was harder than it was.
He was a damn good player when he was here, and also I have that poster to cover up a hole in my wall. But no, I shit you not. I have a John Tavares poster. Look, see, I got one to cover a hole.
I wouldn't do that if I was you. You'll never see me with a
Stephon Gilmore poster.
A Chris Hogan poster, even.
Oh.
But even he said that if he was asked the question if he can go back to one team and would have won a championship, with what team would it be? He said it was the Bills, and he didn't say it was the Patriots.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that.
I'll give him that one too. But it's not the fact that Tavares left New York to go home to Toronto. I completely get it if you want to go home. It's the way you did it. It's the way he did it. That's why us Isle fans have every single fucking right to boo him every time he touches New York ice. You fucked us over by not saying you want to get traded to Toronto. He had every right to say, I want to get traded to Toronto. He had every right to say that. I wouldn't have cared if he had gotten traded.
You finish your contract and you go do what he did. You
just
say from the start, hey, I'm going home.
Yeah. But the fact that you didn't tell management to say, I
think contract negotiations too probably weighed into him not immediately saying I'm going home. You know, he wanted them to fight for his, for his contract.
They offered him 8
He wanted
years.
to run it up.
They offered him 8 years, $88 million. $11 million per year.
Yeah.
That's what doesn't make that. I get. I also understand that you took less to go home, but it still hurts. Yes, but in the end, I mean, you look at the Islanders now. They're in on Mitch Marner. They got a good goaltending duo. If Varlamov could stay, if Varlamov is even what he was back in 2013-14 with the Avalanche, even better if you want to go back to when he was at the Capitals. Greiss is still a good goaltender. The defense is tops in the league. The scoring, yes, is a problem, but they have every right to punch out the Leafs because New York's a better team. They're a better team than Toronto right now.
Yeah.
And you're as honest of a sports fan as I know. Like, you even told me, and you fucking jinxed the Isles for this. You said, "Oh, the Islanders are a dark horse for the Cup," and that same week they got swept by Carolina.
I didn't want them to win. I absolutely didn't want them to win, and I live on Long Island. I don't want them to win.
Yeah, you're a Ranger and Sabres fan. You have every.
I don't like the Islanders.
I know you don't, and I respect that. That's your thing.
But yeah, I did think they were going to win the Cup.
Yeah.
At one point.
You did think that.
I did. I did think that, and I was surprised they didn't, to be honest.
Yeah, that was the best team they've had since the '80s.
Well,
84.
Maybe, yeah.
83, 84, probably.
Yeah.
The year they swept Gretzky's Oilers was 1983. That was the best. This Islanders team was the best team they've had since then.
Well, no, they're not better than any other team. They're not better than any other Islander team that won a cup.
No.
Maybe. I would have to go back and really... You would know better than me, to be honest.
Well, the closest team... Well, John Tavares, when he was second in MVP votes, behind Carey Price, that year.
You didn't go to a conference... you didn't go to a conference final?
The last time the Islanders went to the conference finals was 1993 against Montreal.
Well, that team is a better team than the one that just...
That was a wild card team. I'm talking like as total points.
It doesn't. Well, that doesn't matter. It's how far you go.
All right, true.
Playoff hockey is a different animal, man.
True.
It's
All right. So, while we're on the topic of hockey, if you had to pick the 8 playoff teams per conference, as of right now, who would you take?
Oh, Jesus! It's July.
But still, I mean, you got it never hurts to make predictions. Like the Metro's a toss-up still.
Washington, Boston, Carolina. Washington, Boston, Carolina. I'm trying to think. You know what? For some reason, I'm put the Devils in there.
I think they look good too. They look good also.
I'm going to give the Sabres the benefit of the doubt and put them in.
All right.
Islanders.
Yeah.
Just because they made it last year, and I got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
That coaching staff looks fucking great.
How many spots do I have left? 1 or 2, right?
In terms of the Metro Division, you got 4. Atlantic, you got 2 right now. Boston and the Sabres. So you got 2 spots remaining. But you got to have 1 more in the Atlantic.
Columbus.
Alright, it's 5 in the Metro now.
Wait, no, not Columbus. Give me that back.
All right,
Wait.
4. Shocked you haven't said Tampa yet.
Yeah, I'll give Tampa a spot.
All right. I have from 1 to 4 per division. Capitals, Isles, Rangers, and Devils. Lightning, Toronto, Florida, and Boston.
All right.
I mean, it's still a toss-up.
It's too early for hockey.
It's way too fucking early.
Talk to me about football at least.
All right, then I got you then. Okay. I got this fucking written down in my notes somewhere. Like, all right, so let's see here. I mean, top 5 teams, like if we're, who would you have as the first pick in the draft? Because I got Cincinnati.
What do you mean?
Who would finish with the worst record in the NFL?
Who's going to finish this year with the worst record?
Yeah. I have Cincinnati.
It's a pretty decent pick. Jesus.
Yeah, it's hard.
Tampa?
I have Tampa at 2. I got Detroit at 3, Houston 4, Arizona 5.
Houston at 4. Wow.
I see them falling off because Tennessee looks good, the Jags look good, the Colts look fucking phenomenal, and that division can end up being a dogfight.
Huh.
How do you see the NFC West going?
It's going to be Seattle and LA.
Yeah, who wins that division though? That's the question.
I got Seattle this year.
I got Seattle too. I think the Rams take a step back.
I don't think. Yeah, I can see it.
You think San Francisco makes it?
No.
I don't think so either.
I'm not a Garoppolo believer, per se.
Yeah, it's $28.5 million. Jeez. Excuse me. Alright, so do you think the Bills make the playoffs? In a tight AFC.
Did the Bills make the playoffs?
Yeah, do the Bills make the playoffs?
I have the Bills making the playoffs.
You think the Bills make the playoffs?
I do. I think they get in the wild card at 10-6.
Alright. So here's where's my list? I have this fucking somewhere. Alright, so I might get killed for this, I have no idea. Colts at 1 in the AFC. Chargers at 2. Patriots 3. Ravens 4. Jacksonville 5. Bills 6.
Not terrible.
Alright.
I can get on board with that.
Okay, so with the NFC, Seattle 1, Saints 2, Eagles 3, Packers 4, Rams 5, Chicago 6. I think the Packers will get a lot better than last year. If what you say about Matt LaFleur is true,
Yeah, I think so.
being a damn good play caller, and Seattle on paper looks fucking awesome.
through that again. Who do you have at 1 in the NFC?
Seattle.
It's tough.
I have New Orleans right behind them at 2.
I would give New Orleans 1. Based on the last 2 years. I mean, they're a good football team. Man.
They're a damn good team.
And they didn't lose anybody.
And they gained players.
Yeah, I would go New Orleans at 1.
All right, so I'm going to read you the Saints roster who they added. So they added Eric McCoy at center, Malcolm Brown at nose tackle, and Latavius Murray as a backup running back to Alvin Kamara.
Well, him and Ingram, I guess, are a wash.
Yeah. But Saints defense, Davenport, Rankins, Brown, and Jordan at D-line, A.J. Klein, Alex Anzalone, Demario Davis at linebacker, Eli Apple, Marcus Williams, Von Bell, Patrick Robinson, and Marshawn Lattimore at defensive back. Now, I'm only going by projected starters here. This is who's projected to start.
Yeah, they have a good all around team. To me, it's no argument they'd be number 1 in the NFC.
All right, so
but
Seattle.
I don't think you had the Cowboys in the top 10 or 5, did you?
I had them at 7 in the NFC.
And who are the 6 teams in front of them?
Chicago, Rams.
They're not better than Dallas.
You don't think they're better than Dallas?
No, they're not.
All right. I'll take your word on that. But I think Chicago's got the upper hand strictly on defense.
Possibly.
All right.
Offensively,
Dallas is better.
Yeah.
By a fucking mile. All right. Seattle. This is projected offense. Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, Rashad Penny, DK Metcalf, Gary Jennings, Tyler Lockett, David Moore, and those 4 are the starting 4 receivers. Will Dissly and Jacob Hollister at tight end. Dwayne Brown, Mike Upati, Justin Britt, DJ Fluker, Jermaine Ifedi on the offensive line. Defensive line, LJ Collier, Jaron Reed, Pona Ford, the big fucking nose tackle, Ziggy Ansah, Shaquem Griffin, Bobby Wagner, and KJ Wright. Shaquille Griffin, Unga Amadi, Marquise Blair, Bradley McDougald, and Trey Flowers. That's their defensive backs. They do some magic with their defensive backs.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy to put... What?
What do you think of Minnesota this year?
Funny you should ask. I have them. I have their roster right here.
I personally think they're going to miss.
I think the Vikings will miss too. And they were a better team with Case Keenum. They were a much better team with Case Keenum.
Yeah, well, their defense didn't play as good as it did the year before.
It didn't.
I mean, that's a defensive-driven team.
Yeah. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to screw around here. What do you think of the Cardinals?
Not a fan.
I'm not a fan of them either, but they look better than last year.
Better than last year, but not playoff contention.
5-11 at best.
Yeah, I could see them being around that area.
All right. I'm not crazy to put Seattle the 1 seed, right?
I particular am not.
Yeah. Like there's
I
some.
think that's a little.
That's a little high, yeah, but
It's a little homer for you to make that
no,
prediction.
no. I'm
That's a
seeing.
homer prediction.
That's really not.
It is.
No, if I'm
It is.
being honest, it's not.
So what about Seattle makes them better than New Orleans?
Particularly speaking, home field advantage. If I had to go with that, other than that, they're very similar.
Do you think Seattle has a better home field advantage than Buffalo?
No.
I don't know if home field advantage makes a big enough difference in the case like that.
It's still July. It's still July. We have 2 months before the season starts.
That's true.
And
there's a lot of injuries preseason and everything else to go through.
And the Saints play in Seattle week 3. So that's going to be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, what about the Giants?
No.
You don't think the Giants are going to be good?
I do not.
6-10. Drifting?
If they're lucky.
Drifting? I'm drifting, am I?
You're what?
Am I drifting?
A little bit.
Alright. What about the Ravens?
The Ravens?
The Ravens look awesome on paper.
7-9.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Pittsburgh?
9-7, 8-8.
I feel like you have the Browns winning that division.
I do.
Really?
Yep.
That's a shocker. Do I have the Browns on my list? I do.
Browns to win that division.
You think Cleveland wins that division?
I do.
Alright.
Talent speaking, yeah, I do.
Talent speaking wise, yes. Do you
I
think...
just am not thrilled with the coaching staff.
I'm not... I think Greg Williams is a better fit coach and head coach. That was a much better fit. I got one for you. Andrew Luck for league MVP.
It could happen.
It could happen.
It could happen.
That's a good-looking team.
Patrick Mahomes, a step forward or a step back?
Oh, dear God, step back. Dear fuck, step back. That is step back run all over it. You lose 2 of your best weapons, and probably for a good... You lose your best weapon for a good chunk of the season, in all likelihood. I mean, Mitch Morse is gone. Your center. That's your anchor on the offensive line. They're not much better on defense. I could be horribly wrong, but in the end, it all comes down to, okay, is Mahomes really legit? Or was it just Andy Reid's coaching?
I feel you.
Because I don't know personally. First of all, it's got step back run all over because you have Tyreek Hill probably gonna be suspended for half the season. I believe in the Madden curse. You might not believe it, but I believe in the Madden curse. Yep. Mahomes has got the Madden cover.
Mahomes, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Madden curse, I don't think is going to do it. I think losing Tyreek Hill for a while and Kareem Hunt hurts, and Mitch Morse especially.
Mitch Morse
Off the
hurts a
center.
lot. That was the best. That was one of the top 2 centers in the league.
Where'd he go?
Buffalo.
Yeah, buddy. Josh Allen a step forward. I'll tell you that.
Yes. Because I have the Bills roster right now. Josh Allen, LaShawn McCoy, Devin Singletary, Frank Gore, Zay Jones, Robert Foster, John Brown, Cole Beasley, Tyler Kroft, Dawson Knox.
What, you just went through the receiving core?
I went through the starters, yeah. I'm going the offensive line. Deion Dawkins, Quentin Spain, Mitch Morse, Cody Ford, Ty Nishke. That line looks tremendously better.
That's what you have the line as.
Yeah, that's the starters in the offensive line.
I wouldn't have the same starters.
Because I'm going on OurLads.com. That's who I'm seeing as the starter. Oh, they have Ford as right tackle now.
Yeah, I would have Ford as the right tackle.
They have Spencer.
Here's how I would have it.
Okay.
I would have Deion Dawkins.
Yeah. Spain is good.
I don't know. I have Wyatt Teller.
Really?
And yeah.
All right. Morse at center.
And Mitch Morse.
It's a no-brainer. Who's your right?
Ty Nishke would be moved right guard.
Okay. And you got Ford at right tackle.
Yes.
All right. That's a better spot for him.
Yeah.
All right. That defense looks better. The defense looks so much better than last year.
The defense
was number 2 in the league last year.
Last year.
The defense was number 2 in the league.
Yeah.
So they brought in Ed Oliver, Kevin Johnson as well. I like the Johnson signing.
Beat Levy Wallace out for that position.
For corners, they have Kevin Johnson, Tre'Davious White, E.J. Gaines. Levy Wallace is 5th.
It might not end up that way.
All right. Think Singletary beats out Gore? Or Yeldon?
Yeldon's got to get cut, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. With the running backs, that's one thing I really don't know what McDermott and has thinking in that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who he's thinking is his starter. I don't know who he's thinking is.
I'm very curious to see how the Bills do. But the Jets also look promising on paper. But at the same time, they have to get they need a better offensive line.
Yeah. I mean, the Bills also brought in John Feliciano. They brought in
depth. Good
Ty
depth.
Nishke, and we have a leftover in Teller, and Vlad Ducassi's left over. Who we have good depth too.
Very good depth. So, according to OurLads.com, here's Seattle's. Well, here's how I would have. I would have Brown at left tackle, Phil Haynes at left guard, Brett at center, Fluker at right guard, and George Fenn at right tackle.
Fair enough.
That's a better line. Fant is a better right tackle than Ifedi by a mile. Metcalf looks promising. Jennings could be your 2. Lockett's your slot. Moore is your fourth position. And either Jerron Brown or John Ursua is going to be your 5. And Ursua can run. Carson and Penny could be fucking awesome. They could be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, for some fucking reason, they have Shaquem Griffin starting a strong side, which I think is awesome. They got KJ Wright, who I think could get traded at weak side. Wagner, of course, in the middle. Barton, backup middle linebacker. Ben Burr-Kirven, backup weak side. Jacob Martin is your pass rusher. That guy's an animal. I'm excited for Marquise Blair at free safety. I don't know if you watched enough college football. Do you remember Marquise Blair's highlights at Utah?
Let me see. No.
He's a bigger Earl Thomas. He's a 6'2" Earl Thomas.
Look at this game.
What?
It's coming down to me, a field goal, 2 seconds left, 50 yards.
Oh, who's your kicker?
Hauschka.
Oh, you're fucked. Nope. Fucked.
Oh!
Oh!
It should have went.
Oh!
That's brutal.
That sucks, man.
I played terrible, though.
That's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. I mean, I have some shitty games at Madden every now and then.
What's your record on there?
I don't play competitive that much, but because my Wi-Fi is shitty. What?
What do you have? Do you have Xbox One?
360.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
Yeah.
You don't like video games?
I have a GameCube, but like my fucking family took it away, but it is what it is. Like, I'm looking to buy a new one.
Get yourself an Xbox One, man.
I might get an Xbox One. I have no idea. But
Alright, so
what?
Tyler Croft will be back by the start of the season.
Yeah.
Okay? Probably an upgrade over Clay at this point.
Yes. He's got size.
You have Dawkins, who's going into his 3rd year in a contract year, needs to have a big year. You have Teller, who I see a lot of potential in Teller. I don't know why I have him as a starter. I see a lot of potential of him. He's a big mauler, and I like that in an offensive lineman.
Okay.
I got Morse, who's a top 5 center.
Yep.
Then I got...
I'd have Quentin Spain at right guard. You put Spain at right guard. That's a really good line.
Yeah. And Cody Ford at right tackle.
Yeah. And you have deep threats galore. You have deep threats galore at receiver.
Well, that's the whole thing.
With Stills, Foster, Brown, Jones, and Beasley in this slot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. With some protection and Josh Allen buying extra time, they are going to stretch the field.
Oh. It's very attractive. It's an attractive buy.
Be fun to watch.
It'd be very fun to watch.
If it works.
Yeah, if Josh Allen is who you think he is.
I think he is.
All right.
Defensively, Matt Milano coming back. Tremaine Edmonds in his second year.
They need a better pass rusher at linebacker, though. If Alexander,
Well, he's back, Alexander.
He is back, but you can make a trade. Put Milano as your pass rusher. Let's say KJ Wright. No?
No, I don't think they need to go and do that.
You wouldn't trade a third or a fourth round pick for KJ Wright?
Oh, I would.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you would. Because that's his value. He's an underrated player, but, that's his value now. Ooh, trade markets. Jaron Reed. Would you trade a second and a fourth for Jaron Reed? Not you if you're the Bills, but, let's say you're Cincinnati or whatever. Would you trade a second and a fourth for Jaron Reed?
Yeah.
Second in defensive tackles and sacks.
Well, no, not a defensive tackle. I got Ed Oliver now.
No, I know you have it. I'm saying if you're Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah. I would try and get anybody if I'm Cincinnati.
Yeah. Tyler Eifert. Would you trade for him?
No.
You
I
would?
already have a Croft.
And a Dawson Knox.
They're similar guys.
Yeah. Oh, fuck my back. Oh, is Will here? We gotta get that fuck on here. Have you two complain.
What's your biggest weakness on Seattle?
Biggest weakness? Right tackle. Right tackle and tight end.
All right.
I wanted Eifert in free agency. Or, do you remember Mike Gesicki? Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Would you, if you're the Dolphins, take this trade? Jaron Reed for Mike Gesicki, 1-for-1. Or to sweeten the deal, you add Ed Dixon to that.
That's tough. They're not going to give up a rookie they just drafted.
They drafted him last year.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think they're high on him.
They love that kid. I wanted him with the first round last year. I wanted him with that pick. But, they drafted Rashad Penny.
Who, by the way, is a bust.
He looks good. He's been looking good in camp.
At camp, he'll be hurt the first week.
True.
Just like Tyler Croft.
Probably. What are you doing next week?
Not sure. Why? What's up?
Looking to record right on sometime, let's say Wednesday.
Looking for what?
Looking to record on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I should be down.
Alright, cool. So, I'll go edit the video. I'll go edit the recordings right now. So,
Alrighty.
Alright. Too sweet?
Alright. Yeah.
Whoop!
I'll
Later,
see you,
bro.
bud.
Later, bro.